Hey everybody, it's Pax. We're doing something a little different once again today. Scarlet Keys is releasing next weekend, and I will be live streaming my first playthrough of that on the channel. But until then, I'm going to be showing off this cool city builder roguelike kind of mashup here with Against the Storm. I played this a decent amount when it was an Epic exclusive, but it just released on Steam, and I think that the way they mashed up the roguelike qualities of like some choice selection and stuff like that, that kind of guides the way things go. You know, Slay the Spire, you're choosing your cards. Well, in this, you're choosing buildings that you're allowed to upgrade into, right? And mixing that in with like a city builder makes for this cool, like, tight gameplay loop that you get to play over and over. And for me, city builders are so complex and there's so much to learn about them. For me, it doesn't work. I don't have the amount of time that it takes to do that. But for this, it's much more like a tactical thing where you're making a choice and then it's only going to affect you for the next, like, hour, right? So, I'm doing a brand new profile. I noticed it actually kept my original profile from when it was an exclusive on the Epic Store. That's kind of cool. But then after that, once we do the tutorials, we'll hop into a higher difficulty to show off a bit more of what the game is about. So let's check out that opening cinematic.
The world is plagued by the Blight Storm, a vile cycle of destruction ravaging everything in its path. The only safe haven is the smoldering city, where the mysterious Scorched Queen reigns. You are one of her Viceroys, a pioneer sent into the wilds, tasked with establishing new settlements and acquiring valuable resources for the crown. Your goal is to help rebuild the smoldering city and secure the future of the Queen's subjects.
Okay. So yeah, we're in a universe where it's always raining, and there's storms that are constantly messing the world up. So WASD to move the mouse, fine, that's very normal. You can zoom in and out, obviously, with the scroll wheel. So the main mechanic for failure is the Queen's impatience. As time goes on, she gets more and more impatient with you. And then you need to fulfill your duties with her, filling up your reputation meter. And you unlock new buildings, and eventually it brings you to victory. At each of these little blue markers, you get a new blueprint, which is a new building that you get to build. Now choose a new blueprint, click on the crown icon below. I'm going to build the woodcutter's camp. Obviously, that's the only thing that I get. We press space to resume, which starts the timer up here. My little guys are moving around. Right. Build a woodcutter's camp, explore the forest. You have to keep the fire going at all times. So you need to build these woodcutters' camps. With winning and losing, we've got a whole bunch of stuff that just popped up, but let's just get this woodcutters' camp down. Let's put this right here, and they'll get working on that right away. And we've also got an order to build 2 woodcutters' camps and produce 10 wood in the woodcutters' camp. And that'll get us some new beaver characters and a bonus of 40% production at the woodcutters' camp. And also a reputation with the Queen's Grace. So in a typical game, these reputation points from the orders are how you advance to victory. So we obviously want to build 2 woodcutters camps. That's what it kind of told us to do. And because I know what I'm doing, I'm just going to go ahead and build some pathways as well to get my people working. And I'm even going to speed up the timer. There's a little timer up here. You got hotkeys 1, 2, 3, 4 to do that, and space to pause. So we'll go here. That looked like it was done, but apparently it isn't. Locked for now. No, okay, here we go. So I'll set these beavers. These are one of the 3 characters that I have. I have humans, beavers, and lizards in this settlement here. And because this is a specialization of wood, the beavers have a 10% chance of cutting down twice as much wood here, basically. And when this one's over, I'll set it up with a couple of humans as well. Alright, and then we just let the timer roll. And they'll start chopping wood. One thing that we can do is we can mark down which ones we would like to chop, so I can just kind of like go like this. Mark down a nice area to have plenty of room to build up our little town. There we go. Too many trees marked. Forest exploration is essential. Marking too many trees can slow you down. Use the axe icon with the minus sign on the right hand of the lower HUD to unselect marked trees. I'm not going to bother with that. It's annoying. Order's ready to complete. We gathered all the wood we needed, so we deliver that. We've got a bunch of new beavers, so now we can have all these beavers working, and now I've got all my guys are super productive. Getting a ton. Oh, look at this. We've got a new one to explore 2 glades. That's cutting through to these patches that we can't explore yet. Some of them have better resources in them, or also have dangerous things that you can cut into. And then the other objective was to have 5 beavers as woodcutters, and then we'll get some more humans and a whole bunch of meat, which is food that our people need to survive. So, if we do need to cut into more places, I should unmark some of these, shouldn't I? Let's unmark a whole bunch of those. That was a waste of time. And we'll just cut right into these glades like this. We'll even unmark a couple of these, and that'll get those cut through nice and quick. There we go. That's good. Yeah, and we'll resume. Let's take a look at what it wanted to give us. It's a shelter. So your people need housing, obviously. Let's build some housing for our people. We'll make it look nice and aesthetic. Whoops. We're going like that. Unfortunately, housing you can just move around for aesthetic purposes. Gotta love moving stuff around arbitrarily. Draw some nice roads around. We'll rotate the camera with Q and E. There we go. And another thing about the woodcutters camps is that you can actually move them around as well with the M button or the move right here. And we'll just put a couple more roads around just to keep our people moving nice and quick. And we'll jack the time up once again. There we go. We're getting all this housing built. And just to explain some more of the stuff that we're seeing on the screen here. Up here, we've got the number of people that are currently free workers or builders, and the amount of them that are homeless. So I've got 6 beavers, 3 humans, and 3 lizards, and right now 3 of my lizards are homeless. All of my beavers are working, none of my humans are, and only 1 of my lizards is, and that's because you have 1 person at the hearth keeping this lit at all times. I wonder, do I have coal? Yeah, let's turn all those off. We only really want to burn wood, because wood is really easy to chop. There's so much wood. All of these trees let us chop wood, and in fact, because this is a lush tree, you can see there it says 100%. It tells you you're going to chop 1 wood, and you're also going to get a 100% chance for an extra wood, and then a couple of other things there. So what do we get? Here's one of the glades that we cut into. We got a clay deposit, and we got a broccoli patch. So that tells you what's there. There's some clay. There's a broccoli patch. Right now we need to have a forager's camp to gather broccoli, and we need to have a stonecutter's camp to gather clay, neither of which we have. So we'll just continue on. We'll mark a bit more of this out. Again, we just want to make some room. Too many trees marks. That's a really annoying pop-up. I don't like that at all. Okay, put them right there. Everyone's all done with their tasks. So just because I know what I'm doing, I'll build up this. You can build up the quality of your hearth by adding decorations to your town. So let's put a nice little park up in the top corner. There we go. And then we'll add some... Oh, I guess we can't really build a park right now. That's okay. We'll build a little fenced off area as well. We'll save that for later. Whoops. There. So are you guys doing work? What are they doing? That was an autosave. Ah, right, yeah. All these settings are locked, so I don't really get to quite see what they're doing there. But normally this would tell you how many things you have going on, and it would allow you to make it so that you can only chop the marked trees, and that you won't cut into glades. But obviously we don't need that during the tutorial. So we're down our first season. You start during, I believe, what's called drizzle, and then it moves into clearance, which is kind of like summer. That's when you harvest crops at farms, and then that moves into the storm, which is when your people need to take cover from the storm that's pretty much always raging. You can tell again from the rain going on; it's pretty much always raining here. And then in this one, we got 2 small flax fields, which are right here and here. Can I check what these are? Yeah, you can. So if you click on these, you can see what they are. It tells you what you need to build from it, and it tells you what extra yields you can get. So let's get that order completed. You can also complete it from clicking there, which I'll just do really quick. I do need another house for the people that just came in. Let's build this house right here. We'll build a garden next to that later. And what's our next objective? To build a forager's camp? and to produce 5 vegetables in a forager's camp, and that'll get us our next Queen's Grace. So presumably, this is giving us a forager's camp. Yes, it does. We can build this. Oh, we've already got some, we've got some large broccoli patches up here, so we'll get that going. Let's mark a couple more trees for chopping. And we'll just, again, fast forward. Like I said, I'm trying to blow through this a little bit. All right, let's get some people in here. You can hold down Alt and then cycle through with the scroll wheel to, like, assign people. This is a farming thing, and so the humans have a 10% chance for bonus yield. So we're just going to gather some vegetables. And you can see it's got a certain amount of charges in it. And so these guys are sitting here, harvesting from it, and the charges are going down. This doesn't update. You actually have to click away and then click back for those to update. But you'll see here, that's what we've got. And you can force a delivery to send things back preemptively. But we won't do that. Oh, we've got newcomers. So you get new people every once in a while. I think it's every couple of days. We can choose between people. So we get you usually get 2 or maybe 3, I think. Anyways, 2 like groups of people to choose between. We can either take a lizard and a beaver with a bunch of grain, which can't be eaten raw, but can be processed into other foods, or a lizard and a human and a bunch of vegetables, leather, and stone. And I don't know that we have any stones, so I'll just take that. We've also got the order complete. That gave us a giant vegetables perk, similar to the woodcutting perk that we got earlier. The giant vegetables gives us +1 to our vegetable production. So every time we're grabbing vegetables from here, every single time that they harvest there, they're actually going to be bringing 2 back, even though they're only going to be using 1 charge. We also have this encampment bonus, which is, I didn't mention, we got that for putting those 4 decorations in the base. And now we have +2 to our global resolve, which is the number up here. Everyone has their own personal resolve values that make them happy or unhappy. And during the tutorial, it's turned off, so that resolve isn't going to matter at the moment. But our next one is for the Stonecutter's Camp and to gather a bunch of clay. So we'll get our Stonecutter's Camp up. We'll gather a whole bunch of clay again, right there. That seems like a good spot. And let's get the speed up really high. And also let's build another shelter just to house these couple of unhoused people. Let's get some lizards working there, I think. Seems like a good idea. This does not have a specialization bonus. A lot of the basic buildings don't. So, for example, the Woodcutter's Camp is a basic building. The Stonecutter's Camp is a basic building. And I believe there's one more. I think that the Harvester's Camp is also a basic building. I don't remember for sure, though. Anyways, these guys are harvesting clay. We've got that harvested, so let's complete that order and continue on. Next is the Harvester's Camp for plant fibers and reeds. We'll build that. Oh, there we go. So now we're in the storm. And so during the drizzle, we don't have any negative modifiers, but during the storm, this looming darkness effect occurs. And basically, for every level of hostility, which is how angry the forest is at me for chopping into it, I get a penalty to my global resolve. And these numbers start to drop based on how much of the looming darkness there's been. So it stacks per year, and it stacks by how much hostility there is, which I think in future tutorials it kind of expands on. But basically, during the storm, your people get less happy because they're getting absolutely rained on. So we'll get this Harvester's Camp up, and let's just assign some humans to it. Again, yeah, it's a basic building, so it doesn't get anything. Let's build a couple of roads while we're at it. Let's just do this. Get some more stuff built up. So the people that are harvesting can move a little bit faster. Everything has to be harvested from a location and brought back to the storage building. This is our main warehouse that we start with. We start every encampment with the hearth and the main warehouse. We also start off with a whole bunch of free stuff. We've got a whole bunch of meat, got a whole bunch of wood. We've got resin. We've got, some simple tools. They let you cut into things. You also get a cornerstone at the start of every year. So cornerstones are like a permanent bonus for the rest of the game, but sometimes they have a trade-off, but other times they're just a bonus. So building materials are the foundation of every settlement. Production is 50% quicker in the building. the crude workstation, or an exploration contract. The Royal Academy wants a detailed map of the region and will supply anyone willing to help. Gain 20 reed and 20 clay for each discovered glade. Now, the crude workstation is something that we're about to build, so let's just go ahead and take that. We need to produce 4 planks, 4 bricks, and 4 fabric in the crude workstation, and we're going to get a bunch of parts and an upgrade for the crude workstation as well. So, we're going to go ahead and get our blueprint for it. This is the basic way to build upgraded materials, basically. We don't need to read about logistics particularly, do we? No, we don't. So let's get this going. Get some humans assigned to it once again. Boom, boom. So what you can do in here is you can turn wood and either plant fiber, reeds, or leather into fabric, and either clay or stone into bricks. And so we're just going to go ahead and get our humans building those. They're going to come in here and they're going to work. They're going to have a fun little time. Right? If you check the tab, it tells you what's in there. So they've been transporting fiber and wood over. Then they're taking a little break. Then they're moving again. They like to take breaks throughout the day to sit here at the hearth and just kind of hang out. That's something I like to do. And now they're in here building our fabric, building our bricks. We're getting this order completed. And what these do is they let you build more complicated buildings. So now I could, for example, once I've got some logs, I can build these upgraded bushes and flower beds for better aesthetic purposes. I can build that little garden I was talking about. But for now, we're just building up our produced goods. We've got some bricks. We've got those bricks completed. We get some planks and fabric. We're doing a relatively even spread of them. It looks like we're doing a relatively even spread, yeah. He's building those planks, and then once we return this load, we'll be fine. There we go, we've got our 6 of 5. Once you get to that max value there, they immediately start to do deliveries, and they bring them back to the storage. We're all done that order. We've got another shipment of people. We'll just go ahead and take a bunch more humans, just for the heck of it. And the last thing we need to do is cut into a dangerous glade and have an ancient tablet, which is something you can only find in dangerous glades or forbidden glades. And then we get an amber pouch, which is 30 amber. And amber is your kind of main resource of gold. So we'll just go ahead. We now need... Ooh, we're getting a reputation bonus to get either a lizard house, a beaver house, or a human house. Cool. So these are specialty houses that house fewer people, but they make them happier to live in. Lizard houses take bricks and fabric, beaver houses take just wood, and human houses takes wood and bricks. So let's just take the human houses. We've got a couple of extra humans. I'll show you what I mean by making them happier. Just go like that. And now we can move all of our wood chopping over here, and we can make a beeline straight into here. Like that. Remove all the rest of it. There we go. And now my humans, if we look at my... Is it going to let me expand it? No, it isn't. It isn't. But if I look at this guy here, is that going to let me open them up? No, it's not. It's not. That's okay. I was trying to follow him, but he's moving way too fast because I'm on ×3 speed. Anyways, we're chopping through. Won't take a whole lot longer while we're chopping through. You can even rotate them by pressing R, which is nice sometimes, because this arrow does make a difference. I believe that's where they load the resources in. So we'll just wait a moment while this chops through. There we go. All right. There's a thing called glade events. So when you chop through a glade, you get a bunch of stuff. Usually when you're in these larger ones, you get more things. And then you also get an event. So we have a thing here that says, the Curse of the Forefathers. In 40 seconds, it's going to kill 3 of our random villagers. But if we assign a bunch of guys here, and then we bring it a bunch of wood, and a bunch of fabric, and a bunch of simple tools, then we will finish that and get an ancient tablet at the end of it. So we're assigning a bunch of humans to go cart those materials over, and then get that done. Unfortunately, I don't think that we will get there in time. No, we won't. So this is just going to kill 3 of our random villagers to kind of teach us that lesson through the tutorial. So here we go. 3 people are dead. Splat. They died. And then in another... there we go. Died. And then in another 5 minutes, it's going to kill the rest of them. So typically, you get more time than that. You get enough time to actually solve the Glade event. So I'll build a road over to make these guys go a little bit faster so that they can bring this tablet back a little quicker. And I'll unassign some people from a couple of things to get that done faster as well. There we go. So they're going to build this road for them, and then I've got my couple of guys over here working it, using up those wood, fabric, and simple tools. And now one of them is going to cart back. This guy right there is carting back a... he's probably got that ancient... How can I tell? Can I click on him? Nah, I can't quite tell. You can get a little summary of a person's thing if you click on them, of their happiness and which of their needs are met. All of the different races have different needs, but anyways, we've completed our first settlement, which is just a tutorial, and we've unlocked all of these basic buildings. So we saw the woodcutter's camp, the stonecutter's camp, the harvester's camp. I don't remember if we saw the scavenger's camp, but it gets you eggs and roots, which are like eggs and like potatoes. The small hearth, which is another hearth that you can build at farther out areas. A warehouse, which is a smaller storage place that you can build. A trading post, which lets you trade with traders that can come, and then a farm field that can build farms. We also get food stocks, which is your basic currency for the world map that lets you unlock permanent upgrades for your settlements. So we'll head back to the world map. I think it's going to send us right into the next tutorial, maybe? Or is it going to let us choose where to put it? Let's see which it does. No, we carry straight on into the next one. So any key to start, it's going to mostly tell us to do the same thing, but we get a bunch of farms at the start of this one. Villagers with low resolve will start leaving, increasing the queen's impatience. So when their resolve gets low, they leave. But when it's high, you get more reputation over time. And everyone has a different little bar there. You need to satisfy your villagers' needs. Complex food, homes, and services will increase the resolve. Everyone has a slightly different arrangement. Everyone wants shelter. Everyone wants their own specialized housing. Everyone wants at least one complex food, at least one service, and at least one other thing, if I'm not mistaken. So humans like jerky, biscuits, and pie, which are foods that need to be crafted. They also like clothing, and they also like to have leisure, which is like, getting drunk, tavern, the monastery, or the forum, and then religion, the holy temple, the monastery, or the clan hall. So those are all the things they like, and then over here you can have other things that it'll show you. So for example, at my sacred pyre, I have a +1 from that, because a lizard is burning the fire today. Each species is a different mix of needs. It's hard to please everyone all of the time. We do know that. There's our farms. Farmers can plant only one farm field, and those can only be built on fertile soil. So you can't just plant them anywhere. Crops are planted during drizzle and harvested during clearance. There's only the 3 seasons every year. Build a farm, harvest grain, and serve some ale in a tavern. So it's just teaching us some more basic stuff. Small farm. Let's get that small farm. There's plenty of places you can put it, but you can't always get all of the stuff. So I'm just going to put it right there to get as many of them as I can. And then we're going to go and build farm fields for all of it. And then we're going to build some roads through our place again. I think that this one ends early. I don't remember do I need to get all the woodcutters and everything? I don't remember how this one works. This might be a full tutorial. I don't quite remember. So this wants us to build a small farm in the farm fields. And we'll get a bunch of humans and some barrels. Yeah, I think it wants us to go ahead and do everything. So we'll just go ahead and do it. There we go. So let's assign some humans. You can plant grain and vegetables. So you can have them, and if you have both of them checked, they'll do a relatively even split between between all of them there. If you only check one, they'll only do the one. The star is like a measure of how well you do the thing. So we're only getting 3 vegetables per field, but we're getting 6 grain per field. So let's just go ahead and resume. I think that we do need to do the rest of this, so let's build a stonecutter's camp there. Is there a harvest? There is a harvest stuff there. There's nothing to scavenge because we were given this for food. So these guys are going and planting vegetables by the looks of it. So my order is ready to complete. Let's plant that farm. What else do we need? The 2 woodcutters' camps and shelters. Yeah, so we're doing the full thing again. We want some shelters as well. Let's put some shelters like this. That looks pretty aesthetic to me. I like the way that the roofs kind of line up when you do it like that. We don't want this one. We don't want to roll over these. And you can reveal additional things there. Oh, I need more wood. Okay. So let's increase the time so these guys will go build the wood. Let's deconstruct these ones so that they focus on the woodcutting camps. There we go. Let's get our beavers in there. And let's get our humans in this one when it's done. And we'll mark some places out to be cut. So let's go ahead and go like this. We'll get a nice little area around us, and we'll get all this done to try and carve out some of this space that looks like might be another farm. There we go. And what have we got? We've got either increased the amount of goods produced in a small farm or a whole bunch of barrels per minute. Well, it did say that our objective overall was to build a tavern, so let's get a bunch of barrels. That'll help us build ale. Mark a couple more things out. There we go. Got these shelters building. Let's get that stonecutters camp now that we actually have some wood in reserve. Not a whole ton of wood in reserve. Good thing we've got the coal to burn here. Yeah, that's okay. There we go. We've got some shelter. Build another one. We're going to want to chop down there eventually, but right now it's not a big deal. Like I said, we can kind of shift these around as we need to. There we go. The order is complete. Let's see what the next one is. The Trapper's Camp and meat in the Trapper's Camp. Okay. Now, here's the Trapper's Camp, and there's the meat. So we'll put that right there. The nice thing about the Trapper's Camp is this is an advanced one. It's a meat specialization, and you guessed it, the lizards are quite adept at farming meat. So boom, boom, we're going to have a whole bunch of food. So it looks like they've planted a relatively even spread of the vegetables and grains there. I think while I'm here, I'm going to get these fields started up as well. I'm probably going to need those. These guys just need to make a certain amount of meat here. They're a little slow at it. There we go. Got that. Let's take a look at what the next one is. The smokehouse. There we go. The smokehouse allows us to build, enable meat in the jerky recipe, and then build a whole bunch of jerky. And that'll give us builders allowing us to carry more things. Oh, that I haven't been checking what these actually do for us, but I get a bunch of beavers, a bunch of parts, a bunch of fabric, brick, and planks. Presumably that's to make it so I don't have to build. Yeah, that's just to make it so I don't have to build the small workshop and work through all that. Let's get a bunch more humans, I think, so that we can work another farm. And let's just chop right through here, actually. See, the farms can be hidden away by... yeah, let's put another farm right there. They can be hidden away by the trees, the farm fields, the fertile soil, I mean to say. So there's probably another one in the corner there, but I'm not too worried about it. And now here, it's wanting me to change this to meat. Apparently you can select multiple things. I did not know that. That must be new. And then to make jerky, you just need meat and either sea marrow, oil, coal, or wood. So presumably it's either skewers, like wood, or it's being cooked, right? We can also make pottery and incense here, but I'm actually going to turn those off because I don't want to. And I'm going to limit this to 50 so that I'm not making too many. And I'm going to put a lizard to work there. I'm going to put human in my hearth. It's going to lower everyone's resolve by 1, but the human in the hearth actually makes the queen's impatience grow slower. And I want a lizard in the smokehouse because he's happier to work there. He gains +5 resolve to work there, and he makes more efficiently. So for every, you have a 10% chance of doubling their yield. So for every 4, I could make 20 occasionally, and that'll be super efficient. Get a human to do that stuff. I could afford to have some more shelter up. This hasn't chopped yet, so let's build some more shelter right there. And we'll just let these guys keep chopping away. This guy needs to build 20 jerky, so he's working on his 10. It takes a while to build, right? It still takes a minute 15. But, as you might have guessed, quite a few of our people, humans and lizards, love jerky. So let's do a quick once-over of what everyone likes on a bit slower speed. So humans like jerky. That gets them a complex food net. Ooh. I did not notice that I have a couple of things up here in the storm area. If my hostility rises too high, I get a regular storm in which homeless villagers have a 10% chance of dying every 60 seconds during the storm. So everyone needs to have housing once my hostility goes high enough. That's okay. We're not there yet. Everyone's housed. Yeah, so they like biscuits. I already went over them, didn't I? Beaver housing, biscuits, pickled goods, and clothing. So you see they share quite a few things. They also like leisure, but they also have luxuries as a service. And then the lizards like the lizard housing, jerky, skewers, different type of food, pies. So they have an overlap with humans as well for pies. Pickled goods, they have an overlap with the beavers. Brawling and religion, so that's another overlap, right? So there's a lot of stuff going on here. Every time you open up a glade, you get this little pop-up for a minute. Worm tongue nests, so you can kind of spin the camera around to see what you got, or you can hold B to see what you got. So there's 2 meat, and there's a flax field, and then there's a couple of fields right there as well. We'll zoom right back out. There's also one thing you can do, which is called lighter treatment. It lets you shift your resolve around by treating one of your species a bit nicer than the other ones. You know, the queen is not a particularly nice lady, and so you can choose. You can opt to be a dick, basically, which is kind of incredible. But anyways, we're in the storm now. Everyone's resolve gets lower by 4 because it's the first year, and this stacks. Based on the year and based on the total amount of hostility. So we'll just speed through the storm. Oh, we got our orders done. He made his 20 jerky total, so let's finish that order. Let's pick up this brewery, which is how we build ale. And now it wants us to build the ale, enable barrels in the ale house, and then produce a bunch of ale. And we're going to get a bunch of mushrooms, a bunch of barrels, and some more planks. So let's build that brewery. Build that right there. We'll move this out of the way. I guess we didn't quite need to do all this stuff. I'm actually just going to scoot this way off to the side. And let's chop a little more out this way. I think that's a good idea. Just as well. There we go. The brewery's done. This has a brewing bonus, and so humans like working there. So we're going to go ahead and put some beavers on these and get some humans in the brewery. We're going to change the ale. Grain is what we're harvesting in the fields, and then we're going to change it to barrels because we have this 5 barrels per second. Is that what it was? Yeah, 5 barrels per minute. And we're going to also make pickled goods, actually, out of these barrels. So that'll be another, I don't know, how many should I keep of those? Maybe 50 and 50 as well? And then we're not going to make any packs of crops because we don't need packs of crops for this. And then we're just going to jack the speed up again. Hopefully these guys will... Let's turn the pottery off so we're not making it with pottery. I should probably focus the ale. Let's do that. Okay, what do we got? Grain production increases by +1 every 25 times it's produced, or 50% to the amount of goods produced in the brewery. Let's just get more ale. And let's get more of these guys, because I like that. We'll put this woodcutter there. We'll get another human there, and we'll actually change this one to just grain. Because I think that's all we need. This does meat and insects, and that's actually doing all of these now. That's kind of cool. Good to know. These guys are building ale and pickled goods. That's okay. We got our ale. We got 15 of our ale so far. We're going to do one more shipment of ale, and we'll have that completed. Oh, there we go. We've got enough resolve on our lizards now. Here. They're glowing blue there, and that means that I'm actually getting an amount of reputation per minute from them. Now that bar that they need to meet slowly raises whenever they're above it. Ooh, see, now we're even higher. This is going to keep going up and up. We're at 0.05 per minute, which sounds kind of slow, but I am also... This season is like 5 minutes. Okay, so we've built enough ale. And now we need to build a tavern and get 20 leisure fulfilled. That'll get us some more beavers, some simple tools, and some more barrels. So now we get the tavern, which is in our city buildings tab. Tavern's going to go right here. We've got a nice little town going on. We have some more unhoused people. Let's build houses right there. Let's move this right there. Try and chop some more stuff a little more aggressively. We'll just do a little sweep around like that to get more. There we go. What do I need for this? I need planks and fabric. Do I not have enough? Okay. If I don't have enough planks and fabric, then I need to build a crude workstation. And I do have 2 builders right now. I could take some people off of things to get more builders like that. But I think I'll just get some more. I'll get some more workers, and then I won't need to. Okay, so let's put an extra person in the smokehouse, and let's put a human there and a beaver there, and we'll just say we want to have like 20 planks tops. We probably need some more bricks eventually, but not yet. We'll go ahead and get 1. And we'll do 10 and 10. We'll just get them working away. Just take a second to appreciate this. Oh, we chopped through here by accident, but we just got some more eggs. That's fine. Some more eggs is fine. Chop through like that. And then we'll even move this woodcutter's camp right there. And we'll work on some more housing as well. There we go. We're going to have our nice little housing square shortly. We don't have any of the specialty housing. That's fine. How are we doing on all of our stuff? So we've got a decent amount of grain, a ton of barrels, an absolute frigload of barrels. And we've got plenty of real food. These, you know, the vegetables are food. The skewers and the pickled, the jerky and the pickled good are mostly being used as my foods now, I think. And so my guys aren't necessarily eating vegetables as much. But it looks like they still are a bit, right? Oh no. They're not eating the vegetables, I'm using them to make this, right? And I can also turn the mushrooms on and use the mushrooms to make the pickled goods. But let's just put this to like 100. We'll just get like 100 ale, that's fine. And then we'll put the speed up again. I just wanted to take a moment to enjoy the town. Here we go, we're getting some more planks and fabric finally. Thank you, folks. This is the warehouse. It's like an extra place to gather your resources to, and so once you start getting a larger area set up, you want to have a couple of these warehouses spread out so that they don't have to run all the way back to this main warehouse. They're all shared with one another, so that's fine. Yeah, see, these guys are at 23, and their target reputation threshold is 15 there, and so I'm getting a decent amount of reputation per minute. So it's going up without me even actually completing this tavern requirement. So now I need to assign people to the tavern to actually serve out of it. So I'm going to go ahead and get these dwarves off and put them here. Sorry, dwarves, I mean beavers. And now, while I have 3 people assigned, I get Gleeman's Tails. Everyone gets +3 resolve. And we can serve ale to people that need some downtime. So, people are going to start coming here and start having their leisure fulfilled. There we go. Getting some leisure done. Each person can have their leisure fulfilled, and so there's a certain amount that it'll go up by, right? I've got 8 people. They're getting +4 from their leisure. Very nice. There we go. Let's get... What is this? Bonus, big, huge bonus to meat production. I love that. The meat production's not huge, though, because this is really only right here right now, but that's okay. And let's get, once again, some more beavers and humans. I'm actually going to change out one of them for a human and put another beaver this woodcutter's camp. Let's keep chopping wood. It's always good to have a big reserve of wood, because that's what a lot of your building materials are coming from. Alright, we've got that done. Let's take a look at the second to last one. Keep human resolves above 25 for 30 seconds. We can literally already deliver it. And then build a bunch of packs of provisions. So what do we need for those? Let's get human houses, the makeshift post. Now what does the makeshift post do? It's kind of like the crude workstation in that it builds some kind of basic materials at a very crappy rate. These are actually not great yields. You're turning 8 wood into 2 planks every 40 seconds. These ones are turning whatever you like. In my case, it's going to be vegetables, grain, and mushrooms into packs of crops, or eggs or insects into packs of provisions, which is what I'm actually going to be building, like that. And then you can also put planks, copper ore, bricks, or fabric into packs of building materials. And all of these get used for different purposes. Packs of provisions are mostly used for trading, more than anything else. But we're just going to go ahead, set that up, try and get that built relatively quickly. Actually, I have so much resolve that I think this is going to end before I can even do this. Let's see if that's true. Let's get 2 people in here. Let's see which happens first. My reputation getting to 8 from them being too happy, or me completing this order. There we go. I won from the resolve just going up high enough. And then you get upgrades when you get experience at locations. So I've upgraded some Citadel, I've made some Citadel upgrades available. I can now build the Rain Collector, which just collects rain in it and produces something called Spark Dew. You can make paved roads out of stone. There's the Herbalist Camp, which can gather herbs, berries, and mushrooms. And there's a couple of new cornerstones, which is the meat specialization one. Flame Amulets reduces the hostility from woodcutters. And crowded homes, all houses have more room for one. And I've also unlocked the shelters, the makeshift post, the blight post, and the hydrants permanently, and gotten a couple more food stockpiles. So, this is the world, the overworld view here. The world is a vast, ever-changing place, and at its heart lies the smoldering city. This is where the queen lives. These are our 2 tutorial towns. Your goal as a viceroy is to help rebuild it and secure the future of the queen's subjects. So, use the resources you've gathered so far to construct the obsidian archive in the smoldering city. There's the obsidian archive. We're going to be getting a permanent minus 2% to the speed at which the queen's impatience grows, and we're going to have a place where records about great viceroys are kept, and we're going to unlock deeds. And deeds are basically achievements, which allow you to get bonus XP, or unlock new cornerstones, or unlock new essential buildings in order to have for future runs. But usually they come at a little bit of a challenge, right? So this one here, these are mostly aesthetic things, but like say this one here, once I've discovered 80 glades, I get a cornerstone that gives me insects every time you cut down trees. So there's a lot to do there. And then, so that took 10 of the food that I've earned so far. I could upgrade it further and get another minus 2%, and then also plus 10% more Citadel resources whenever you finish a settlement. But instead, I'm going to go with permanent 2% to burning duration to all types of fuel burned in the hearth, so the wood that I'm burning at the hearth lasts 2% longer, and I get embarkation bonuses of stone and clay. I can start runs with some resources, and that is just upgrading my smoldering city a little bit. And now, this world is governed by the eternal Blightstorm cycle. You have this much time before the Blightstorm is almost upon us, so no caravans are allowed to embark. Click on this button in the lower right corner of the screen to finish the cycle. So we end the cycle, we get some bonus experience, we get some things unlocked. Oh, sorry, this is a summary of the things that we've unlocked. When the cycle is complete, the giant storm kind of like overcomes the rest of the world again. And resets all the settlements that we've made. And so, now, we're we're almost ready to venture out. Choose any map tile inside your embarkation range, which is currently just 2 tiles, to begin. So we could go here, the marshlands, we could go to the Royal Woods, go to the Coral Forest. There's a couple of bonus things here. There's this Royal Outpost. The proximity of the Royal Outpost makes it easier to communicate with the Crown. The pool of order choices will increase by 1. And then up here is the Fertile Grounds. Glades have an increased chance of including fertile soil. These question marks indicate where more of these are, but this also indicates that we're getting bonus food by going here, right? This is a 12, 14 food for winning, but these will give me 17 food for winning. We just played at the Royal Woodlands on our first one, so let's go ahead with the Scarlet Orchard. Now when you start, you get to choose between what loadout of people you want. You get the humans only, or lizards and humans. So we get to choose the difficulty and higher risk, higher reward. An inexperienced Viceroy won't last long on the higher difficulties. We can name our settlement. We're going to call it, let's think, Moundsburg? Sure, that sounds good. And we're actually going to play this one on Viceroy, which is the highest difficulty I'm allowed to play on at the moment. That does make it quite difficult, and so I'm probably going to split that one into a different video. And lastly, use all your embarkation points to bring things with you. We're just going to bring a bunch of bonus wood so that we can bring what we want. And then you're finally ready to embark on your own. Remember, there's always a way out. Experiment and adapt. May the storm be gentle on you, Viceroy. So, at the Scarlet Orchard, we get what? The Royal Outpost there, and then we also get the Royal Archaeologist. You gain access to a new building, the Archaeologist Office, and there's Buried Mysteries. This is a new mechanic to me. I've never played with this before. A lush and exotic land filled with prehistoric remains. Ancient excavation sites can be found here. So, now, before I had 1 negative modifier during the storm. I'm going to have 4 negative modifiers during the storm that are going to make this a lot more difficult. But, as a result, I'm going to get way more food stockpiles, way more experience for completing it. Let's go ahead with all humans. Humans have better resolve, a base resolve than lizards. Lizards get angrier, get unhappier with you easier. And I think we are going to bring the wood with us. So I'm going to cut it here. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed kind of the tutorial for this one. If you're interested to check it out anymore, I'm going to make this Moundsburg playthrough next on the Viceroy difficulty, and I can kind of walk through what I'm doing there. Anyways, thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.